Hi everybody, this is Dr. Poppy Moon, and today I'm going to be talking about the Cornell Note-Taking Method. And this is going to be the required note-taking method in CO 508, which is pre-practicum. And it doesn't matter what professor that you have for the course, this is going to how that you're going to do it. Now, in my graduate career, I took all of my notes in Moleskine notebooks, and I think these are so great. They come in lots of different colors, and they're really kind of fun. There's a neat little history that's behind them. Let's see. The history behind it is they were really famously used by people like Ernest Hemingway and Picasso and Van Gogh. They used them as sketchbooks and for writing, and it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of neat. So also in the very front, it has this cute little thing that says, in case of loss, please return to and as a reward. So I really like these. If you're not a big fan of these, of course you can use whatever you want. You can use Spiral Notebook or something. But I think it's just kind of fun to use a new one, a new fresh one for each course, and then you have all of your information in there. So when you do go back and you study for comps, you can go back and look at each course and see the important information that was in there. Okay, so you say, well, how do we do the method? The first thing that you're going to do is draw a line down your paper where you have about 1/3 of a page on the left-hand side and 2/3 of a page on the right-hand side. Now, when you get started, your references are going to go here, and if you have any special notes or diagrams, you're going to put them over on the left-hand side of your book. Okay? On the right-hand side, all the key points and main ideas go here. I'm going to show you how that works. And then finally, over on this 2/3 of the page, you have the supporting information that goes there. Hang on, I went back too fast. Okay, so what your pages are going to look like, and this is not one I'm going to show you one with this course in it, but this is an example that I found that looks really good. And you can see over here, she's used this page also on the left-hand side to do notes. And if you want to do that, that's fine. But I normally just put like information and main big points over here, so when I'm going through it, I can look quickly through the pages and find where I'm at. Okay, and this person over here has written the summary at the bottom, and that's always a great idea to do that when you get to the end of your, when you get to the end of a chapter or when you get to the end of a video, you can do some summaries in there. Now here's an example that I am showing you. In your textbook, Exploring School Counseling, on page 19 through 28, there is a section called A Brief History of School Counseling. And I think the history of school counseling is kind of interesting, so that's why I picked this one. And I think a lot of times people don't really know how school counseling came about. So here we are on page 19. You can follow along with me if you'd like, so you can actually see it in action. So in this first paragraph, if I kind of summarize it all up, it's just a note about school counselors. And it's probably everything that comes from that little paragraph is that the role of school counselors has always changed in response to the needs of the society. Now the next topic is from 1908 to 1940. Hang on, I'll show you that in a minute. From 1908 to 1940, there was work and there was the war. So main topics that I found in that section was that during the Industrial Revolution, people were trying to get into vocations. People were trying to help. As we had people coming over from different countries, we needed to be able to put them into different vocations where they would be successful. And one of the first people that actually started this whole vocational movement was Frank Parsons. And he is known as the father of counseling. And he started a vocational bureau. Hang on, let me get back here. Open up. Okay, he started a vocational bureau. And that was kind of the beginning of everything. So if you'll notice, I've written that over on the left-hand side because I think that that is something that is important. Okay, so then we had gone over to work and war, and I was noticing that during the chapter, I saw that during that time, counselors moved from just doing vocational work to giving administrative intelligence tests for the military because they needed to know where they could put people inside their ranks. So I thought that that was kind of neat that we moved into doing testing, intelligence testing. And then after the war, counselors continued to work and they were helping students to prepare for vocations. Let's see what happens next. Okay, our next section is 1940 to 1960, and this was a time of support and federal funding. Let me get over here in my notes. And once again, we start to see counseling changing, and counseling theories are changing, and counselors begin to move from vocational to start to actually providing counseling services in the school. So we're starting to see a move kind of away from the whole vocation thing into meeting other students' needs. Now, this is important. This is a big thing in counseling, is the National Defense Education Act. And that was passed in 1958, and it had this huge impact on school counseling. So you'll notice that over on the left-hand side, I made this note because I thought it was important, and then I just kind of linked it over here so that I was knowing what's going on. And there was this, at this time, we had gotten into the space race. And so school counselors were starting to push students more towards jobs in math and science so that we would be up with everybody else in the space race. So that started to really move school counseling into a totally different zone. Now, if we look after that, we start to have the American School Counseling Association that was created in 1952. And looking on that, some of the things that I learned about was about the American School Counseling Association and how it supports counselors in all different areas. So you can see how I used the Cornell Note-Taking method to really start to understand what I was reading. And when you're reading something, you can't just read it and think that it sticks in your head, because it doesn't. You need to be reading actively with a pen in hand and notice all the main points and main things that are important. And that is how you're going to do well in this class. Main thing is accountability, because I want to see that you are actively learning. And not just in the textbook, but also in the videos that you watch. You'll also put their information over here and important stuff that you found out. You'll probably find out some techniques, other interesting things, ways to deal with kids, all kinds of stuff. And I want you to be able to have that information where you can find it quickly and you can use it in the future to help you in becoming a school counselor. So each learning module, you'll be asked to turn in your notes for the readings during that learning module. And you will basically take pictures of your notes, and maybe you can either send them as JPEGs, uploading them on Blackboard, but what I would do is take all of your JPEGs and then convert them to a PDF file. Then you can just send me that PDF file. So that is how to use the Cornell Note-Taking method. And if you have any more questions about that, you can contact me at pmoon@uwa.edu, and I'm more than happy to help you get started.